Hello, 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 hello. Happy Monday to you guys and everyone who was able to join. You'll have to let me know how the sound is doing or treating us today. If you can hear me, if you cannot hear me, hello. You'll have to let me know. Monday to you guys and everyone who was able to join. You'll have to let me know how the sound is doing or treating us today. If you can hear me, if you cannot hear me, hello. You'll have to let me know. Monday to you guys and everyone who was able to join. You'll have to let me know how the sound is doing. And I think I found I need to mute something so that there's no echo. Hey, Katie Jones. Hey, Ella. Good evening, Kylie XX. Hey Diane, great to see you, and thank you for all the info you've sent me. I really appreciate it. As soon as I get to the point where I'm like ready to move forward, you will hear from me for sure. But thank you. Hey Nazy, Ella, I think I made an adjustment that should help with that echo, but you let me know if that adjustment took. It may not have. So if for some reason it didn't, then I need you to let me know. But it should have taken. Gia says sounds better. Kylie says, there we go. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Cool. Good now. It's better now. Okay, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Awesome. So I thought we would do some mini readings today. It's something I like to do. I find it a bit fun. Just to hear how people are experiencing the energy, what types of questions they have, um, that kind of thing. So I figured we would jump in because we're moving into a different season of 2024. And I'm sure you guys have probably felt it and noticed it where the vibe of the year has shifted. There's something different that's going on now than there was um, where how do we put it? The best way I can describe it is like 2024 is divided into three chunks. So the January through end of May period was like its own chapter that it was marked by a lot of significant change, a lot of like abrupt changes, about faces, surprises, things we have not seen before, that kind of thing. And now we have this period that stretches June, July, August, and maybe half of September. And this period seems to be a lot more about the integration of some of the things that we experienced in the first part of the year. Then, by the time we get to kind of mid-September, all the way through the middle of December, we have this period of time that's significantly marked by the second set of retrogrades of this year. And so, this middle season that we're in now, we get a bit of integration and kind of landing and being able to kind of uh, let ourselves, our consciousness, catch up to some of the shifts that unfolded in the first 5 months of the year, which were like change heavy. And then how do I put it? The eclipse sees part of the like early fall into early winter. The eclipse process is going to be much more about, I mean, the phrase my guides keep using is like finding our way back home. And so, in this finding our way back home energy that we have going on, the work of this is going to be about um, like getting ready for that and coming out of these changes. It's just going to be in this summer season about aligning with what's true, realigning to what's true, getting honest about what's true, being transparent with ourselves about what's true for us. And so the more we can do that, the easier this is we're going to have it as we get into the last half of the year when a lot of how should I put it? Like there's going to be a lot of resurfacing for closures and resurfacing for new beginnings that unfold as we get into the eclipse season. So there's going to be some people who come back and they'll come back. They'll come back for closure. And there will be other people who are going to come back into our lives, friends, family members that we've been separated from, um, lovers, ex-lovers, and people from our past. They'll come back because it's time for a new beginning. Now you're different. Now they are different. And as such, it is going to create a new chapter with some of these same souls. But this reconfiguration period that we just went through, like I said, there's a lot of, I mentioned this. I don't know if all of you all had the chance to listen to it, but in the additional energies for the Lightworker energy update that I did live last week on Friday, I talked about the disintegration of monad structures, how some of the soul family that we came in with is getting reconfigured for this next stage of human growth and development on the earth plane at this point in time. Some people are going to go into other groups, you'll go into other groups. It's just a reconfiguration based on, the leadership and the light work that we're all here to provide and those whom we need it from at this time. So it can be a little disorienting, a little unsettling as, people who you thought you were going to quote unquote do life with find their way to where they're supposed to be. And likewise, you are too finding your way to where you are supposed to be. And so the main thing I would like to say about that is just, as we're all crossing bridges at this time, really, really key. Cross bridges without burning them if you can. That's really important. And give yourself the space and permission that you need to grieve, because there will be certainly some of that as we move into this next part of our process. Okay. So the link is not working. Thank you, G. I appreciate that. Let me find a different version of that link. Give me 1 second because I copied and pasted it from elsewhere. So let me just log into the PayPal itself. I was wondering, I was like, oh, interesting. Maybe they're just really hung up on what I'm trying to say. But nope, it was the link. Let's see. Hey, links and buttons. Good grief. Okay, that is way more complicated than I want to work with right now. I think I have the link set elsewhere. So let me just test this and see if this is going to do what it is we needed to do. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Okay, there you go. I'm going to reformulate the pinned comment while you guys go ahead and make your payments. And then we'll be able to have some chit chat about what's happening, where it's all going, and how to work with it. Okay, Nazy is on the list. Thank you, Nazy. I got your payment. Chrissy, Chrissy is on the list. Thank you, Chrissy. Just test that link, that pin comment. Actually, let's delete that or remove. Thank you, Chrissy. And I like the syncs too on the number choices. I love it when that happens. It's definitely, as we're coming out of that big season of change, I'm working on stability, and four is definitely my stability number. I think it's going to be, it's interesting because generally speaking, four represents stability. And depending, I have been shown that depending upon your vibration and frequency, certain numbers are more balancing for you than just those singular numbers. So give yourself some space and permission to need what you need. Doesn't always have to be one number, just like the heart chakra is not always green. Sometimes that heart chakra can have some other colors going on. Okay, so the list as stands is Nazi K, Chrissy H, and Eleonora B, Jessica B, Kate M, in that order. All right, cool. All right, so Nazi, if you want to go ahead with your question, that would be amazing. Thank you. Emily, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, my condolences and best wishes for a peaceful transition into the next iteration of light for him, and lots of consolation and comfort for your family as they grieve. Um, hey, Princess Leia, great to see you. Um, Thanks, Nazi. Nazi, you're first. So if you want to go ahead and put your birth information and your question in the chat, that would be fantastic. Try to keep it to one chat if you can. That would be amazing. Okay. Maggie has just jumped on the list as well. Flower, it's great to have you here. Hello to your father. Um, okay, Katie, would love to have you. I'm going to be here for a little bit. And Chrysula Angel, here's who I have on the list. Let me know. Is that you, Chrissy? Chrissy H, are you Chrysula Angel? Let me know. Um, and then Nazi, that'd be, I think I've you're first. So awesome. Thank you, Nazi. And then if you guys just stick around, give me a minute, somewhere in between like the first and the third person, I'm gonna jump into um my whatchamacallit, my coupon maker, and I'm gonna give you guys a little savings on 1 hour readings. Here we go. And Nazi K. Where is my share screen button? Come on, Zoom. There it is. Share screen. Cool. And I'm going to hook y'all up with a savings that I only offer my Star Club members, which is a 20% off on a 1 hour reading if you'd like to do that. Okay. So give me a second. And that will be available as long as you purchase that 1 hour reading while we are live together. You can use that. But once this broadcast is over, that coupon code will go extinct. Okay, perfect, Chrisula. So Nazi says, Nazi K says she was born in Toronto, Canada. And 1-3-1991, 6:06 p.m. Okay, cool. Let me just double check. I've entered all of that correctly. January 3rd, 1991, 6:06 p.m. Toronto. Okay, cool. And then let me go ahead and hit the timer button for you. All right. So Nazi says, I'm currently taking a risk. I just wanted to see if all that I'm doing starting July 1st will align for my future. Okay, cool. What are you doing? I have no way of knowing that, but I can certainly see if it's aligned. And you said that this is July 1st, so I'll just pop over to that date. Oh, the chart will look fairly similar, but if you want to tell me what you're up to, I can definitely see what is aligned and what is not aligned for your future because your chart will show that what's aligned and what's not aligned. Okay, there we go. Interesting energy. We'll have a Mars conjunction with the moon around that period of time. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, so let's just see if Nazi added a little bit more detail about what it is she's doing with her future. Um, Certainly, there is change afoot for you. And this year was definitely a big year of choice for you, Nazi. I see that you've got the North Node and the South Node by transit square to your natal nodes. This does happen once every 9 years. And when that happens, I do see that a person is in a significant season of choice that's going to open certain timelines and close other ones, open certain opportunities, options, and energies to them and close out other ones. And so this one is really about, yes, I would say with the North Node crossing into house number 9, I would definitely agree. It definitely reads like taking a leap of faith to some degree. It also reads like, because the ninth house is about faith, but it also reads like you're at a growth point where you've really outgrown certain ways of living, doing things, being with the transiting nodes crossing over your MCIC line and showing you, hey, it's time to move into our next chapter. It's time to do our next thing. So, as you're continuing to get into some clarity for yourself and really step into, what your truth is for yourself, this speaks to like having a lot of trust in the process and really disciplining yourself to quote unquote with Saturn and Pisces in the ninth. This is about having grounded faith, but also knowing like if you're on a tightrope or a high line, you don't look down, you look forward. You look at what you're about, what the very next step directly in front of you is. You don't look at to the left or to the right or what other people are doing. It's about really paying attention to the immediate next step in front of you and really kind of taking it bit by bit. So, I like to see this for you. Let's see what you said. You said you were letting go of a comfort career that didn't align. Very good. I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, that's a lot of what this season is for many people, especially with Chiron in Aries. For you in the 10th house of career, we had that Mars Chiron conjunction. We also had the Jupiter Uranus conjunction here. This is for all of us. We're all collectively being called into what is our personal truth for where our life is meant to go. I see Ceres has retrograded back and forth on top of your sun, which is really about in the 6th house, who do I want to be in terms of service in the world? And I'm also seeing here that the ruler of your career sector is receiving a nice hit from the planet of expansion, growth, and opportunity as we close out that first segment. Remember, I was saying that this year operates in 3 chunks. At the end of this first chunk, the May chunk, we do see Jupiter connected with your natal Mars, which is the governor of your midheaven, expanding opportunities for you. And so I would say, because Aries, the governing sign of the midheaven, is inviting you in to be yourself, I would say anything that's going to allow you to be more you at this point in time is 1000% what you're meant to be doing. So, yeah, I actually just wanna, I'm gonna pull just a couple of tarot cards for you really quick and an oracle card. Um, Actually, the oracle seems a bit more aligned, so let's just see what this angel oracle message is for you. What is Nazy's message? And then Chrissy, Chrisula Angel, if you could go ahead and start typing your question, that would be great. Who's your next? So the angel for you is the sun daughter. Let me just give you some clarity about what that path is. Sun daughter, sun daughter, sun daughter, sun daughter. You are glowing with your love. The waking path is radiance. The sleeping path is buried love. Cool. It says on your waking path, you are loved and loved no matter what. People can be envious because you receive and give love so easily and abundantly. Your natural warmth and companionship are so genuine that people can hardly ignore them. On the sleeping path, though, son, daughter, you can be abused by others who take your love for granted. And since you don't expect anything in return, those who do not give will find you ripe for the taking. And this has caused much turmoil in your life. The thing for you to remember is unconditional love does not equal love under any condition. You can feel love under any condition. That's what I always say. But if someone is abusing you, it is not love, it is pain. If the love is being controlled and directed, it is not unconditional. Unconditional love can only be felt between those who can be vulnerable, unveiled, imperfect, and undefensive in their loving. Okay. For your soul revival, sharpen your ability to detect people seeking love they can control. Perfect message for moving into a job that's aligned for who you are. Your care and warmth are only true when they come from a natural desire to give. Listen to your heart. Trust that when the pain and trouble shows up in a relationship, it's time to pay attention. Some daughters are meant to be cherished. Really beautiful. Okay, so there you go. Nazy, thank you. Chrissy, go ahead. Thank you. I see Chrissy in the chat there. Okay. Let's see. Sula Angel. Oh, well, good. I'm glad I could give you an affirmative message and that it gave you the happy tears. Happy release. And best of everything. Okay. Hartford, Connecticut. What's your question, Chrissy? Um, And Nazi, if you're curious, that came from the Black Angel cards deck. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. So, um, or if anyone listening is curious about that. Okay, so what is Chrissy's question? After Chrissy, then we do Eleonora. So Eleonora, go ahead and get ready. The list is open. As it stands, we have I'm doing Chrissy now, then we have Eleonora, Jessica B, Kate M, and then Maggie. So it's not very long. Let's see. Okay. I'll just refresh that page. And if you want to get on the list, you absolutely can. And we're just waiting for Chrissy's question. And let's see. And Eleonora, I think you've been here with me before, so you know how this works. It's best if you can kind of type your question in like your notes so that when I call your name, you can just copy and paste your question for me, and we can keep the list moving pretty succinctly. Okay, so let's see. Chrissy, let's get your timer going here and just hit start on that. Chrissy says, should I visit family in Greece this fall, late September, October? Yeah, actually, because of the eclipses in that period of time, it's perfect for a go back round. So, yeah. Um, it's a long, expensive trip and not sure if I better stay local or go for it. If I go, do the week-long dance camp while there. Interesting. I mean, I'm always a fan of dance camp. Who doesn't want to do dance camp? Plus, it'll give you a nice break from family so that you're not constantly up under them and you can appreciate the good times more when there's a little bit of contrast that's, organically built in. But let's just see this ninth month and what it looks like. Cool. Yeah, I would say this looks fantastic. This will be the beginning of the Mars retrograde in shadow in your seventh house in Cancer. It needs to go a few more degrees before it's all the way in shadow. So that'll be the October time frame. But I would say, yeah, possibly more so in the October time frame. Cancer is the sign of family, Mars in the seventh house. Is there also a love interest that's over there that you're hoping to maybe put eyes on or have some time with from your past? Because it does seem like that is indicated here, that there is some sort of love interest connected to a homeland, that there could be some level of connection with. Oh, yes. And then there's the Mars retrograde directly on top of your south node, pretty much. And Mars is the governor here of your fourth house of home, family, and roots. So yeah, Chrysula, if you're planning to go and maybe have a little bit of a like, let me just put myself in the vicinity of someone that I could be interested in, it does look like interaction happens. Um, and yeah, right, Kylie, a bit spicy. And I love all of this South Node activity going on here as well, leading up to it, and from the house of long distance travel and faith in the sign that deals with relationships specifically. As Libra, the seventh house also deals with partnerships. So, yeah, there seems someone, listen, Chrissy, I don't know if you're trying to like, you know, just place yourself around someone who's, you've had interest in. But if this family trip is also about that, look, it shows here in your chart. And if it's not about that, it could come up where there's some sort of like childhood friend or like friend of the families that is all grown up and looking really juicy. That kind of interaction could happen. So yeah, it looks like a great time. I'd say more so the October time frame looks really good if you can. But, both periods look fantastic for the unfoldments to be, supportive. And yes, to dance camp with Jupiter in your sixth house of physical health and well-being, I would say anything that helps you feel more in your body is going to help you feel your best when you're around your family. I just want to pull a couple of tarot cards. Let's just see. And the list is open if you'd like to get on it. Getting ready to close out with Chrissy. Eleonora, if you could post your question, that would be great. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I would definitely say go. The Emperor came out, and so it does speak to kind of like returning to the seat of the family home. And then the Page of Wands came out with his own clarifiers, the Seven of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. And so this really talks to me, sorry, Eight of Pentacles, eight, A-E-I-G-H-T, eight, and eight, A-C-E of Swords. So Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords came out as clarifiers to this Page of Wand. The final card was the Five of Swords. I just really see you regretting it if you don't go. I see you having this sort of sense of feeling like maybe there was a little bit of a missed opportunity. And I see there's some concern for you about the finances around it here, but I think you're going to put in the work necessary to make it feasible. Once you've committed and decided to it, there does seem to be some level of like idea generation that happens when it comes to generating the money you need to make this real. So I'd go ahead and like start the process of looking at tickets, like put that, what's that thing called? That people have they have like a notification for when the tickets are at the lowest price. I'd go ahead and put that notification up and start the process of like planning this step by step. Okay. So thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Ella, for being ready. Um, really happy to read for both of you. Slovakia, and then Dunashka, and 9-2. Speaking of the September time frame, 1969. Okay. 5:10 p.m. Cool. And Heather is also now on the list. And if you, Chrissy and Nazy, if you stick around, I will go get that coupon code for the 1 hour reading that will be available until I finish this live. Um, I'll go get that in just a moment, but let's go ahead and read for Ella. Thank you, Chrissy. After Ella, Jessica B. Jessica B., it is your turn. If you would be so kind as to get ready. Don't put your birth details in the chat yet because I'm going to be talking to some people here, as you see. But if you type it out and then get ready to paste it, that'll be really constructive. Let's start the timer here for Ella. Ella says, so many good changes in my life. Woohoo! I love to hear that, except one area. Oh no, let me guess, love. What can I expect in matters of the heart and love in the next months? Good question. So I was guessing love because you have such a significant stellium here in house 7 and 8. This is commitment. This is intimacy. And we have the South Node giving a strong clean out for all of us in house. For you, it's house number 8, but it's in the sign of Libra. So it's like a giant toilet flushing of everything we don't need anymore. So this is really good. I would say in the months to come, what we're looking for are connections to your sun there, Virgo. Okay, so you've taken a step up in love, is what this is telling me. With this Saturn opposing your sun by transit in the last year, I'd say from May to May, you've had this period of time where you are no longer accepting unacceptable offers that would cause you to have to compromise your selfhood. Saturn transit first house and transit your sun, and offers that would cause you to need to, um, be a little less of yourself. It looks like your capacity to stand in your authority, autonomy, sovereignty, personal power in your life has expanded in such a way where any relationship that runs contrary to that is no longer available to you. I have you on the list, Heather. This is also coinciding. We had Saturn just before that in 2021 oppose your natal Venus. So, yeah, from I would say the 2020, the pandemic onwards, you've been in this process of really becoming and pulling into a much, much higher level of honoring yourself. And so, as such, you probably feel a little different. Ella, I explained some of this in the added energy update during that I did live last week on Friday about just your cup can expand to such a degree where people could be doing what they've always done. It's just no longer satisfying. And that's how this reads to me. When it comes to love, because you have had Juno retrograde back and forth over your South Node, this lets me know that you, from your seventh house, no less, and she's the marriage asteroid. This tells me that you are somebody. I don't know if you are aware of it or not, but it looks like somebody's trying to re-enter your life. Someone that maybe there was some sort of commitment to in the past. You may have had a lot of thoughts about them. They may be thinking significantly and heavily about you. This is an opportunity for you to make a reconnection. Yulia, I've got you for with that person so that you're just see like are you the same person that you were, am I the same person that I was, are we new people now? And this newness, this period, it actually extends like a window. So this south node is going to move from the eighth to the seventh house into Virgo as we get into next year. We have the first eclipse on this axis, and you've got a once in 18-year graduation as a natal nodal return as the nodes return to the point they were at your birth. This graduation is what's going to allow you to really have a rekindling with this person. And like I said, this really seems to extend. This is about a 3-year-ish window where some folks from the past may really show up. And this Juno retrograde from January to now is what really speaks to this being the beginning of an active period of X is returning. I don't know how you feel about that, babe, but it is here. And so I would say really have a look at your situation with anyone you want to reconnect with, past or present that you'd like to change the dynamics with. Have a look at, yeah, this is all talking about review, these 3 cards that came out. Two of Cups reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. There is something with someone in your past that is not complete. It is not closed. And so as a result of that lack of closure, there is about to be some sort of revisit. But in order for it to not just go back on the same cycle, you're going to really have to approach it like a different person. Okay. So, yeah, and I mean, overall, it looks good. It just looks like there are some second chances that are about to become a part of your love life. But yeah, you're really gonna have to get into some forgiveness, some erasure, some forgetting of the past and see yourself and other people through completely new eyes. So that's what I got. We're gonna do Jessica B next. Jessica B, if you could go ahead and um put your information there in the chat. We have on the list, I'm going to do Jessica B, then Kate M, then Maggie S, then Heather, Heather, Amanda H, Talene B, and Yulia P. In that order. List is open if you'd like to jump on it. We're moving with pretty good time here. I'm going to go ahead and create like a quick coupon code for those of you who are here. If you want to take a deeper dive on anything, I'm going to extend to you the opportunity to do so at a rate that I only offer my Star Clubbers, but it is limited time. It's 20% off, which equates to about $40 on a 1 hour reading. So it's basically going to give you the opportunity to take the payment you made for your mini reading and then just apply it to a 1 hour reading. So if you'd like to do that, you will be able to. Let's see. Just find that coupon. And then Flower and Kylie, if you would be so kind as to just keep this coupon and maybe recirculate it for folks, that would be amazing. Make it easier. Percentage is 20% off. Okay. Why don't I just extend that until the end of the day? So it'll just be active today only. So if you use it today, you're good to go. Okay. Apply to specific service called 60 minutes. There we go. Okay. So awesome. Let me just make a note here for you guys. And then Jessica B, you have not already put your, oh my gosh, did not mean to share screen. Oops, sorry guys. If you guys, Jessica B, if you would just put your information to do the reading there in the chat, that would be great. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Today only. Add. Save 20% off 1 hour reading. There you go. With code. There we go. And let's just see. We want to link y'all to where to use that code. Perfect. Okay, and let me put this in the chat for you guys and for Flower, and there we go. Okay, so just B, let's see. And that'll basically let you, like I said, basically anyone who pays for a mini reading today, you can utilize that code and you'll be able to There we go. You can utilize that code and you'll be able to save on a live mini reading. Okay, so Jessie B, let's go ahead and do this. More September babies. I love it. And another Canadian. This is fantastic. You know, I have been thinking about Canada a lot. And I should okay look into Toronto. Now, just be, this says 2021. Oh, okay, because this is your son's chart. Okay, no problem. 2021, 5:17 p.m. Just so everyone is clear and you have a heads up, I'm not reading for counterparts today, just for yourself. But if you want me to read for your kid, I'll read for your kid. That's fine. Okay, so let me set the timer for Just Be. Where is my timer button? Okay, there we go. What would most likely be the biggest challenges in his life so I can be the most supportive mother that I can be? That's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. Um, hmm, I would say, first of all, the lesson of this young person's life is North Node Gemini, fifth house. It's about learning how to be creative and play and take things step by step. One of the challenges of his life is really kind of being too frustrated by things not working out. Like you can probably almost see this in him as a toddler, where like if he can't get the blocks to go just so as he's playing with them, you know how kids throw like a little tantrum when they can't get things to be just right, or the crayon breaks while they're drawing with it. It seems like his lifetime is meant for him to learn how to be comfortable with imperfection in many ways, both within himself and with other people. So there's, and then also learning how to take steps and recognizing when the steps he's taking aren't working for him and try something different with Ceres connected to the North Node and Lilith too. Really recognizing what works for him and what doesn't work for him. And so I just love this question, especially, you know, when parents ask it of their kids, rather than trying to figure out how to get the child to be a version of them, like, how do I get my child to do this? Asking, how do I get my child to be the best version of them? Because you don't get to dictate that. God does, right? That is something that I feel like I wish more parents would ask that. So, and you, God's ways are not our ways. It's biblical. So that being said, I would say one of the biggest challenges as well, is probably accepting some of his intuition. It does look like he's very gifted when it comes to things like his instincts. I think he probably has some really strong instincts about things that need to be done in this world and timing and sequencing and when they need to do it. I think one of the, rather than challenge for him, I think one of the challenges for you is really going to be being patient enough while he figures out his process. Because I do see that this is a person who's going to be uniquely process oriented in that they have a very specific way that they like to learn and do things and figure things out. We see this lovely Uranus conjunct the bottom of the chart. And this can, because there's probably in your life, Jess, just changes. And we're living through a dynamic and dramatic and unprecedented season of upheaval throughout all of North America and the Western world at this moment in time. And there's more to come on that. The instability, you're not going to be able to protect him from instability in his childhood, but I think the challenge for you is going to be to not let who he becomes as a result of that instability become a pathology in your mind. It does look like he's come in with a powerful point of perspective with Pluto on the horizon and a really, like I said, Mars, Sun, and then Mercury, all here in the eighth house of death, endings, alchemy, transformation, sexuality, taxes, and other people's money. This is someone who really came in and who knows who they are. They know who they are. They know what they think. They know what they want. He's come in with his own agenda. And so, to the best of your ability, if you can really be present with helping him to pull his agenda for himself, like pay attention to his signs in his life and what they're trying to show him, you're going to find that he is significantly moving significantly faster at finding where he's supposed to be in the world. This is definitely, I see a child built for the new world, not the world you've come from or I've come from. So that's what I can say about that. Hang on, I'm going to get you some cards. Okay. All right. This is a different angel deck. This is a triple goddess deck. What messages do you have for Jessie about how to parent a beautiful soul that's chosen to incarnate to her? What messages, Holy Spirit, do you have for Jessie to help her understand and guide the gift of the child she's been given? Great. Flame of Surrender, card number 12. This is the Triple Goddess Tarot. Messages for Jessie. Okay. Card number 12. Okay. Traditional tarot image is the Hanged Man. And this talks specifically about after the revelation of the previous card, Justice, the Hanged Man is now within reach of his own destiny. But first, he must empty himself of all illusions and come into higher alignment. Hangman is never forcefully tied to the tree or restricted. His upside down stance is always undertaken voluntarily as he positions himself to release debris of the past. Yeah. This is a child. I mean, it just his whole chart kind of screams it. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to tell you who I am and what I can do. And so the main thing is just to support him with being patient that he is going to find his way. The the intuitive message I'm getting about your son is that there's a role he's meant to play in an earth that doesn't exist yet. And meaning that there are certain changes that are going to unfold before the time he's an adult here, wherever the two of you are residing, certain changes that are meant to unfold in this lifetime for him before he becomes an adult that will be pivotal in shaping who it is he's meant to be here on earth. And because of those changes not yet unfolding, there can be a sense of like, but my piece doesn't fit, mom, that he can have as he moves into adulthood. But the best thing you can do with his North Node Gemini is reinforce that he can trust himself, that if he keeps taking steps forward, he will be able to find exactly where he fits. I think that's what the flame of surrender really speaks to. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, his nature is both and as opposed to either or. Okay. Yeah. And the message for you is to free yourself from ancient shackles of shame, fear, doubt, guilt, or denial as a parent. So, okay, there we go. That's the message for you, hon. Hopefully that was illuminating. We're going to go on now to Kate M. Hey, Pam, welcome. Great to have you. Let's just clear this up. Close out of this chart and prepare the new one. There we go. Kate M, it is your turn, beloved. And Kate M, you would put your birth details and questions there in the chat. That would be amazing. Cool. Let me know. We got Yulia on the list. Creative therapy services. I have you on the list. And Pam Heisler, I'm adding you to the list. Cool. We're going to do Kate M, then Maggie S, then Heather. You're welcome, Jess. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, there's going to continue to be more change, but I think the biggest thing you can do is not get yourself hung up on the fact that the world is unstable and you are changing with a changing world. Don't give yourself any, don't give doubt any leeway to linger in your life. And definitely with him, give him tons of encouragement that he's here with a purpose and for a reason. And he'll find it if he just keeps moving forward. Okay, so Kate M and then Maggie S. Maggie S, are you here as well? Go ahead and get ready so that when it's your turn, I can read for you, Maggie S. Thank you, Flower, and thank you, Kylie. It's really great to have you guys. And then Flower, how long are you with us today? Like, when do you have to go? I believe you said you're on your way to your father's house. So let me know when you have to go. I'll do a question for you before you leave. Kylie, you as well. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kate. More Canadians. Hi, guys. Okay, this is definitely my sign to like, because I have been thinking about Canada and I'm like, should I go there? This is like a sign. Um, okay. 2, 8. So I'm thinking this is February 8th, Kate. Just confirming with you that this is February 8th, because that's how we enter date format here in the States. If it's not that, I need you to tell me now. 9:35 a.m. London, Canada. Okay, great. All right, let me get the timer up. Okay. So Kate, this says, Yulia says, come to Canada. Are you in Canada too, Yulia? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to purchase my first home and it has been an emotional roller coaster. No surprise, my love. Cancer governs your fourth house. So home is the fourth sign and the fourth house have a correlation that has to do with home, family roots, stability, both home, the metaphorical, the spiritual, and the physical, quote unquote, place. And Cancer deals with emotion. So I'm not surprised this has been more emotional than it would be, let's say, a Capricorn for whom this would be a strategic thought exercise. What does the second half of 2024 look like for me in regards to me purchasing a home? I think you're going to find because of the Mars retrograde, and let's just get specific dates on that. Mars retrograde 2024 degrees and dates. Cool. Okay. So the Mars retrograde will take place in that house. Mars for you deals with that first house of identity. This is a major change in identity for you. Pay attention to these dates, December 6th through February 24th. I think with this kind of information, this is going to be Leo from your fifth house back to your fourth house. Okay. And it's the 6th degree to the 17th degree. December 6th to Feb 24. Let me come back to that chat. Cool. And so, what this is talking about is something that you may have ruled out or decided against earlier in this year. It does look like it's going to make a resurface, potentially in January or just before we close out the year. So there's our Mars retrograde here, preparing to go back here into your fourth house of home. I also see that there may be some changes around like interest rates and bank loans as Juno goes into the eighth house of other people's money, mortgages, etc., into the sign of Scorpio. It does look like maybe a lender that you might have needed to work with previously who may have rejected you does come in. You are able to reapply. You are able to get a second type of offer with this kind of placement and energy. Um, it also looks like you're going like the interest rates and then who's partnering with you for the loan. It just looks like it falls better than it would have during the first part of the year. This year is like really heavy, both the new and the full moons, which is when a home purchase would probably take place. And then closing at the next one, like 2 weeks to 4 weeks later. This whole year has been tumultuous because a lot of the new and full moons have had a significant number of aspects to Uranus, and that's to continue. So it doesn't surprise me that this Mars retrograde is going to have you a bit, things a bit more settled and you a bit more able to get yourself into the home you're looking for. We'll see a new moon in Capricorn as we get onto the first of this year. That will not be angled in aspect to Uranus in any way. Thank goodness. So I think for you, as we get into the very, very close of the year, and this Mars retrograde is where I want you to revisit. Specifically, I'm being told neighborhoods that you may have ruled out earlier this year as either out of budget, out of reach, something out. Um, During this Mars retrograde period, it looks like something's going to open back up for you that was previously unavailable. But I'm going to pull an angel card for you and just see what's the light and the shadow behind home buying for Kate. Holy Spirit, what does she need to know? What message is going to allow her to see where her open doors are and take advantage of available opportunities? Because we know you've prepared her for this and that she's ready. Okay. Message that came out is the healer for you. So let's just see what the light and shadow of this one is. The healer and Maggie, if you could get ready, it's your turn next. Okay. The healer card. The affirmation is I am moving through my pain to truth. The waking path is compassionate. It's an interesting word because if you look at the etymology of the word compassion, it literally means to suffer with. It has nothing to do with love. It just means I am choosing to suffer with you. And then the sleeping path is overburdened. So the healer works through healing herself and others. As a healer, you move into a healthy existence when your truth has become the lesson and the path, not the obstacle or the struggle. Hmm. Might need to listen to that again. Okay. Um, Your healing work is less concerned with the illness of the body than with soul repair. Sufferers who come to you in need of soul repair have been experiencing critical event or transition in their lives. You know all too well that suffering which leads to healing, if one can avoid the destruction that suffering can create. Since the process is endless, you'll always feel needed and valued. However, this value is closely linked to having people in your life who are in a continuous state of suffering. You attract these people like a magnet. Mm. Okay. By healing others, you are practicing compassion because you so much want such love for yourself. As you do this work, your own soul can descend into a place of torment, and that's the sleeping path. You may find yourself lonely, isolated, empty, as you try to regain some composure. Your soul revival means you want to adjust the strength of your magnetism. Okay. You could be trying to heal 20 generations in one soul or one house ownership. Doing other soul repair. So, if you've got some ancestral reasons that are coming up when it comes to figuring out buying this home, doing other people's soul repair to the exclusion of your own might be an indication that you're avoiding your own healing. And so, for your soul revival, you're going to need to unload the burden you think you need to carry. You're responsible first and foremost for your own healing. And reviving your own soul, you can experience the compassion that you try to give to others. Okay, so that's what we got for you, Kate. So you may want to have a think and a second listen to that, get some clarity there. And if you need to go deeper, you know where to find me. There is that savings code available for today only. So you're welcome to use that. We're going to go ahead and read for Maggie now. Thank you guys for your patience. And then Heather. So if Heather, I think I've read for you on here before. What you want to do is type out your birth details and maybe type out your birth details inside of your notes app and then be ready to paste them when I call your name. Okay. Okay. You have to let us know how that resonates for you, Katie. Um, and you may need to kind of play with the messages from the angel deck to find what in there is resonant and can be of service to you. Okay. 8:31, 1962, 12:16 p.m. Rochester, Maggie S. Here we go, setting timer. Maggie says, everything is going great in my life. Love to hear it. Woohoo, go Maggie. Just curious about love and a loving relationship. Awesome. Okay, well, this has been a significant year for love moving in a new direction for you as we've had Jupiter cross into your seventh house um, of love and commitment and meet up with Uranus in the later degrees there. For many people who had the Jupiter Uranus conjunct in the seventh house, there are significant levels of reconditioning the house to be ready for love. And by reconditioning, I mean a catalytic energy moving through the house, showing you that love is possible in ways that you may not have previously considered. Jupiter running through the seventh can give you a lot of options when it comes to love, but in order for it to anchor and land, there's some real necessity for you to know who you are, know what you want, and be able to have all barriers to love within yourself removed. I remember having a Jupiter transit my seventh many, many, many years ago, and I thought I knew all the things there were to know, only to get myself involved in a relationship with somebody who was emotionally unavailable because I was emotionally unavailable and I didn't even know it. Right. And so that relationship, fizzled and died in its appropriate timeline. However, the thing that is necessary here is for, in your case, with Jupiter in Taurus and now in Gemini, this is really about being in the right place with your body and the right place with your mind to be able to allow love in. When you look in the mirror, Maggie, are you comfortable? Do you like? Are you attracted to what you physically see? When you hear your own thoughts come out of your own mind about yourself, do you like the way you're talking to yourself, or is there some level of growth and development required for you to get to a place where you are attracted to Maggie? These are the questions that a Jupiter transit through the seventh in Taurus and Gemini are asking you to grapple with and facilitate movement toward resolution around if you're unsettled with these things, so that you can be in a place where you get to have the love that you want. The real trick of this is also making yourself not just physically available for love, but mentally, like I said, and getting yourself to a place where you're putting yourself out there. You're taking advantage of any and all opportunities for love to land. As we get into next year, Jupiter hitting the 23rd degree of Gemini from your eighth house will strike your natal Venus in a harmonious way. This year, it did strike your natal Juno by square. It'll strike it by sextile next year. So you are in a real season of love, but like once in 12 years, because Jupiter takes 12 years to get around this wheel and in this position. The real question, Maggie, is are you open? Are you open to all the shapes and formats in which love can arrive? Or are you only open to it coming through certain doorways and in certain packages? With Jupiter moving into Gemini, the answer for you is to be curious and explore and give yourself permission to have a look. Hey, what is it I want to experience? And is it possible with this person in front of me that I may have written off? Gemini says take it step by step, and love will be probably right in front of you. Let's go ahead, Maggie. I'm going to pull some cards for you. Got the Three of Pentacles, Six of Wands reversed. Okay, Page of Cups reversed came out upright. Two of Pentacles. Okay, this is really talking to me about, okay, King of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. This is showing me, Maggie, that you haven't closed the door on something or someone that it has not come fully together with. And this is talking about needing to make a choice around whether or not you're going to lean into that connection or whether or not you are going to let it go so that something else can live. But as long as there is you with an open back door, hoping somebody else is going to come through the front door, the people who normally would see your light on and say, hey, I like that Maggie. I want to come into some sort of, dating with her. They can't really do that because it really looks like you've already got somebody parked in their spot. So this is talking about needing to get to a place of honesty with yourself with the way these cards came out around whether or not you got to let someone go or you got to lean in. Okay? That's what that's talking about. Thank you for letting me read for you, Maggie. Heather and then Amanda in that order. Heather, if you would go ahead and drop your questions there in the chat, that would be great. And then after Heather and Amanda, then we have Seline. I'm going to go ahead and check the list one more time, see where we are at. List is open. I'm going to read for Heather and then Amanda in that order. Remainder of the list looks like Lean, Yulia, Creative Therapy Services, and Pam H. So if you would like to get on it, you absolutely can. And then from there, we can see what the options are. Yeah, Maggie, if you've got, um, where is Heather? Is she coming? There's Heather. If you, Maggie, if you've got some sort of like person that you consider like a twin flame and you're not sure what to do with it, just I would say, because that's really talking about being in some sort of love triangle. The cards that I pulled, and the love triangle being about somebody, thank you, that wasn't in the picture at the present time, but in physical, but was definitely in the picture, like in your heart. And so there is a call for you to get to a place of being able to make some decisions. And like I said, if you want to go over that in more detail, we certainly can inside of a personal reading. Like I said, for today only, it is 20% off, which will bring it from 240 to about 200 for you. So if you want to book into my calendar, we can have a look. Okay, Heather. Mm, timer. Heather says, I'm feeling very stuck in all aspects of life. Just 3 months after a second major hip surgery. Wow. I now find myself having to look after my elderly mom. Will I ever be free? I'm so tired. I know. It's kind of crazy because life expectancy went up, but quality of life didn't. And so it's like, what's the point of living longer if I'm gonna have all these health issues and need to be taken care of by my kids? Is there really a point to that? So that's an interesting feature of modern life, that there's this sandwich generation that's taking care of both kids and dependent adults that nobody accounted for. So let's just see here. Will I be free? Let's just see kind of where the fun is for you at this time. Okay, so there's been like a lot of about faces and abrupt changes in that fifth house of children. It's funny because I feel like as much as like elder parents aren't necessarily governed by the fifth house, when you have to take care of them in that particular way, I feel like they become secondary children. And there is some sort of like, okay, I'm gonna have to take they become fifth house wards, so to speak. And so Uranus here kind of speaks to that. We have, yeah, transit to Mars, which is the governor of the fourth. Where is the play? Where is Venus? Venus is here in the seventh, and Juno is here. Preparing to go in the ninth. Um, Heather, do you write? Are you a writer? Because I'm seeing some sort of escape via words and language and communication. If it's not spoken, it's like written word. I'm also seeing some play and some fun in the arena of relationships. Um, yeah, well, and that's the other crazy thing too, right? Is that there's been this like delayed childhood as cost of living has not kept up, or sorry, wage increases has not kept up with the cost of living rise. And so yeah, extended childhood. No, not a writer. Okay, so then this is just straight up communicating with people who could be romantic. So I know you probably don't think you have time. I know you don't think you have energy for this. But if there was any way you could entertain, hear me out. I know this party that's like, who the fuck has the energy for this K Moon? But there seems to be space for a flirtation, to bring your spirits some levity through the seventh house of committed partnership and the ninth house of second chances. And these eclipses in the fall are not going to make it any less so. There's a significant level of perchance, in the now time, all the way through late fall into early winter, a someone, perchance a dating someone, perchance an online dating somebody that you can chat with that just it seems to get you, seems to understand you, wants to connect with you, and gives you some of that levity you're looking for. The rest of the playtime seems to really come in the arena of you taking your mind off of everything via your work life and giving yourself a lot of space in your work life to look at, okay, what do I want next? Because I'm clearly going to still be working. I got the hip thing done. I'm able-minded. Where is there my opportunity to be career-wise situated in a way that really works for me? So that is what that is speaking to. I feel like this is a triple goddess message. So let's find that triple goddess. Here we come. Amanda, if you could place your question in the chat for me, that would be great. Let's just see this triple goddess deck. Holy Spirit, what is there for Heather to know about the challenges of this season of her life and who it is she is becoming and what good things can she look forward to? What does she need to do to get access to the good things? Nope, it's not this deck. Okay, it is the other angel deck. Uh-huh. Okay, there it is. This deck wants to talk. Grandmother reverse, so that's sleeping path. Yeah, okay. Grandmother. You use insight and wisdom to activate your life. The waking path is guiding wisdom. The sleeping path is withholding wisdom. And this came out in reverse. So it's indicative of needing to come off the sleeping path and onto the waking. With grandmother energy, you hold the legacy of ancestors, you hold wisdom. In your waking path, you are so wise that people say, wow, you're an old soul, or you have good sense, and people rely on you. You rarely make mistakes. Your inner insight creates your calmness and forthrightness, and your divine work with deep understanding and sound judgment makes you the sage you are. And at the same time, others sometimes see you as shrewd, crafty, mischievous. They feel you have inside information that you won't tell. Gatekeeping. And sometimes we can be gatekeeping with ourselves when it's like, yeah, I don't like that answer. Spirit, inner guide, come back to me with a different answer because I don't like the one you gave me. And it doesn't work like that. Since you selected this card, you may be using your sound judgment in such a critical way that it works against you. And we can do that to ourselves. You may be misusing your ability to persuade, causing you to appear too opinionated. And the way this can look when we're doing it to ourselves is it causes us to feel like there are no good options and all the doors are shut, when in actuality, it just takes a little bit of curiosity and willingness to see into the unknown to find them open again. Okay. Let's see, what else does it say? In your soul revival, your wise abilities can be used to help you remain in your soundness. Being critical is an old child rearing practice that our mothers may have used for discipline. It has a long tradition deriving. Okay, well, there is no longer a need to tame each other in our relationships. Instead, our energy can be used in creating tenderness. When you deliver your wisdom, when and where it is wanted, you'll find yourself more valued and appreciated. Honor wisdom as a rare gem of life. Okay, so this is about loosing your own bonds that you've used to bind you. Loosing the bonds that you have used to like dictate who you're supposed to be, Heather. And let yourself be a little bit more who you are. Okay. Hopefully that provided some resonance and additional clarity. You'll have to let us know. Amanda says, was born in Virginia, Fredericksburg. No. Fred, Fredericksburg. That's what I thought. Okay, so what is it? Okay, there it is. 6-5. Hey, we have a Gemini birthday in the chat. Happy belated birthday. Okay, 6:52 p.m. Okay, what can you tell me about the next 4 to 6 weeks? Is there something happening? Let me set the timer. currently have an overwhelming amount going on in many areas of life. I'm not surprised. It is so for many of us. Let's just see. Let me take a look here. Okay. Right. Right. A lot of closeouts, a lot of opening ups, and then we'll have that full moon in Capricorn here. That first degree. What do you have going on at the first degree of anything? Okay, nothing really, which is good. And then I want to check what's after the full moon in Capricorn, the new moon in Cancer. Let me just see. July 5th. Let me just see, Miss Nicholas. New moon in Cancer. 14th degree of Cancer. Okay, that's not going to settle anything down because your sun sits at the 16th degree, 14th degree of Gemini. Okay, that'll be in front of it, which will be good. Okay, I would say that things don't settle down, not right away. The changes that are in progress are really meant to be up leveling you and taking you to a next step in your life, financially, romantically. Um, oof, let me back out of that. Uranus, Venus, Venus as governor here of your sixth house of physical health and well-being and service in the world. Venus also dealing with love and money. Venus also being governor of your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, which is hosting a transit and clean out from the south node. There is a lot in flux, mostly because you're the kind of person who's capable of handling it. You must have a lot of cardinal energy. No, a lot of fixed energy. So this is some of this is delayed stuff going on, stuff that needed to happen a while ago, but is now we've gotten to the point where it can't be held back. The proverbial dam has broken. So this is really talking about much of you and your spiritual changes have already occurred, and this is just one big season of catch up. I gotta be honest, Amanda, it seems to extend beyond 6 weeks from now, but let's just take a look for the end of July. Yeah, there's still a lot happening, to be honest with you. Much of it good. I mean, it's good stuff. It's with Jupiter crossing over your sun the way that he is. This is really about life coming to you in ways that is like fruitful and supportive. I think the major thing that I'm seeing here is for you to readjust maybe some of your lens that not all change is bad change. Um, and this is really about giving you some permission to like lean in significantly harder to the framework. What's the best that can happen? And then begin to participate in the changes in a way that allows that best to come forward. Especially as we get into late July and early August, we'll have this interesting thing, which only happens like once every 12 years, where Jupiter will conjunct your sun and then the transit sun will conjunct your natal Jupiter like at the same time, which is rare. This is going to be a nice season of you getting some upgrades, but rather than like going into the commiseration cycle of, oh, it's all blowing up on me, and the catastrophization and the fantasy of what it should be and could be and would be if only so and so would do it. Don't do that. Just start taking change as it comes with the question, what's the best that can happen? And start to really participate through that lens. Let's just see some questions and answers for you. Do you want to to be used? I think the Santa Muerte deck wants to come out. I have to get a clip and stand for y'all. Yes, the Santa Muerte deck did want to come out. 10 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. The reason this all feels so burdensome to you is because there's a reluctance to change on your part. This is talking about a need to really look forward. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this was the right deck. Because in this deck, the Queen of Pentacles is climbing up a ladder, looking up at a tree for what fruit she can pick. And so that's really the message for you is as hard as this seems, there's still fruit in this season for you. There's still opportunities and options available to you, but you got to be willing to participate. And like I said, not all just because something's changing doesn't make that bad. What's the best that can happen, really? And get out of any catastrophizing thinking that you're letting your brain sit in. Um, because there is a resurrection at hand for you. It looks like with the way this Ten of Wands is talking about the completion of a cycle of feeling quite burdened in this particular card, and then like leaving all those burdens behind so that you can get to a place of freedom. So much of this is talking about a perspective change for you more than anything else. Because the changes, they're not calming down. They're continuing because it's time. But like I said, this reads like an up level, not like a catastrophe. Okay. Seline, it is your turn. Um, okay, flower. Let me do flower. Go ahead, flower. What is your question? Because I remember you said you were gonna go be with your dad. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that, flower, and thank you, Kylie, as well. Woohoo! Hey, TP. Always good to see you, hun. Let me fit in my moderator and then I'm gonna come right back to you. Okay, let's put another cat. A lot of East Coasters and Canadians today. Who you want to play? Why are you not cooperating? No, you are not allowed to do this. There you go. 1971, 7:24 a.m. Bridgeport. Okay, cool. Um, Set this timer. She says, I've had so much happening in my trying to get this to stop moving so I can continue to see. I've had so much happening in my soul tribe this last 1.5 years. I just want to know what to look forward to this year. I'm counting all my blessings. Thank God. Good for you, girl. Okay, I'm not sure career-wise what you've been up to, but this Jupiter transit, the 10th house, is talking about moving into a season of significantly greater visibility when it comes to work and career, and giving you an opportunity to step into the spotlight and the limelight when it comes to your offerings in the world. This Jupiter in the 10th is giving you freedom and like you writing permission slips to be who you want, do what you want, when you want, how you want at this season of your life, and really unburden and untether yourself from everything that you have previously experienced when it comes to being trapped in a particular identity. There's a letting go of old partnerships and collaborations that really may have not served you with that South Node through the second house. Maybe didn't really even fully value you. That needs to be happening at this time. There's also a release of maybe some acts of service that you may have done. I'm not talking about your dad, but Uranus governs the sixth house of physical health and well-being and service and day-to-day living. So there could be some either routines that just no longer work for you. It's time to switch it up. Exercise, health, diet, otherwise, or service, like ways maybe you volunteered somewhere. It's like, okay, I gotta switch this up as well. This is a know when to walk away, know when to run transit for you in those areas of life with Uranus crossing, or sorry, South Node crossing over that Uranus and Jupiter stepping into the 10th house, because there is a shine that's meant to be on you, an illumination that is on you at this season, but it is going to take you putting down some things that don't work. I also see Saturn transit the 7th. There's a lot of new congruence that's meant to be unfolding in partnership and collaboration with Saturn transit the 7th house. Yeah, I definitely see daughter moving out. Makes sense. Pluto hitting the second sign of your 5th house. Endings to the way things were with your children, beginning to a new way things are going to be with your children. This is a really big season in your life. It's kind of, oh, yes. I'm getting that song in my head, like I'm coming out. I think you should listen to that and just like maybe play it in your car for yourself. That song from the 70s. Was it Diana Ross, Donna Summer? I don't quite remember, but this is the vibe of what I'm seeing going on in your chart. I'm coming out. And it's just such a beautiful vibe for you. Yeah, Diana Ross. Such a beautiful vibe for you after everything you've been through, everything you've experienced, that this is like your time, your season to step into, just the you that you always knew you were, with a freedom and a liberation that like there's just no shackles holding you back anymore. And so this is like your time to step into that. Okay. So I love to see it. Let me find a card for you. What card deck is going to be right? Yes, Triple Goddess. Talk to us. I think it's you, Triple Goddess. Let's see. Holy Spirit, what messages do you have here for Flower today as she contemplates this new season and chapter of her life? What does she need to shed? And what does she, okay. Soon as I said it, what does she need to shed? This Triple Goddess deck holds 7 chakra cards, and the chakra that came out for you was the 6th chakra. As soon as I said, what does she need to shed? So the 6th chakra sits, is also known as the third eye. Let's just see what you want to say. Conversation enriches the understanding, but solitude is the school of genius, is the quote, the first quote. The second quote is healing does not come from anyone else. You must accept guidance from within. That's from A Course in Miracles. Ah, okay. This card embodies the ecstasy of insight and vision. It's going to give me a bunch of that. The function of this chakra, intuition. So there's a real, what's going on in your 12th house? I can't see it. Leo 12th house, South Node in the 12th. Huh. We haven't come to Leo season yet, but I am guided to very quickly just pop over there to that Lionsgate period of time and just see. Okay. Yeah, I think Leo season is going to really show you the August time frame through your dreams and your kind of reveries while you're washing dishes, mindlessly moving about. It's going to show you some visions about what's next for you. Gemstones, lapis lazuli, quartz, foods, high vibrational foods such as fresh, local, organic fruits and vegetables. That'll help if I think you mentioned you wanted to do some weight loss. That may help. Um, This chakra asks that a person look within to find the wisdom of the soul. It affects the brain and the neurological system, which stimulate the endocrine and pituitary glands. The main function is to keep these systems running well so that one is open to intuitive guidance and receive higher inspiration. Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about these in my meditation class last night. Pituitary and pineal, they really help run the endocrine system. And my meditation teacher, Carrie, who will be on the channel later this week, you all look for that. She was talking about how they are what anchors us to the world of physical form. When the chakra is in a negative state, the individual is unable to perceive and listen to his or her higher guidance and higher power. If this area is blocked, there's also going to be some difficulty concentrating and studying. When this area is healed in a healthy state, a person is able to carry a clear vision out into the world in the material form and manifestation. The imagination is alive, and the genius of the soul may work to transform the world with new insights and inventions. The highest level, when this chakra is connected to the heart chakra, and I would also say to the 12th, divine love and light emanates in the world. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing over the course of the summer, you may get some activation to the high heart. Um, and that activation to the high heart, which is just above the heart and below the throat chakra, is going to ask you to lean into some greater understanding around your faith, um, possibility, and a lot more. You've already got a lot of it, neutrality, divine neutrality, but you might feel like you might get a little respiratory thing going on while that activation happens. Okay, so to lean, it is your turn. Flower, thanks for letting me read for you. Kylie, I'm going to add you to the list after Amber. Let me know if for some reason you need to go before that. But otherwise, I'm going to read for Amber, then I'm going to read for Kylie. And let's go ahead and do Talene. Thank you for your patience, Miss Talene. And then Yulia, if you could get ready, I'm going to read for you as soon as I'm done with Talene. So the same way you've seen it here, Yulia, as I wrap up, I'm going to call your name. Once I call your name, what I need you to do is just paste your question and your birth details there, and I will read for you. Okay, so Canada, Montreal. Hey, happy belated birthday to you as well. 1985, 10:51 a.m. Cool. Okay. Celine asks, and let me go ahead and hit that timer. Celine asks, what is the second half of 2024 looking like in general? Okay, it's a general question. I'm gonna give you a real general response. I hope that's okay with you. Okay. Um, okay, well, right now, there's this really beautiful season of fulfillment in the arena of hopes, wishes, and dreams with Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and Venus, and Uranus kind of all hanging out together in that 11th house of wish fulfillment. It looks like a very social time for you. This part of the year is probably always very social, but you're probably feeling even more events, probably some short distance travel. Like it looks like there's several trips coming up that are going to be taken before we close out the year. And they could be short trips. And it looks like some of them you may even need to say no to one in order to do the other. So that's really interesting. It also looks like, mm, hey, Amber, if you want to hold that till I call your name, that would be ideal because there's going to be a lot of chat before it's your turn. And when it's your turn, I'm not going to be able to access that. So definitely copy paste and delete that until it's your turn so that I have it when it's time for me to read for you. Okay. Uh, we'll have this Pluto retrograde. Okay, so the interesting thing for you is probably going to be in November. And maybe the eclipses. I think, let me get you those eclipse dates because I think those are going to be really interesting to you. Pay attention. So, about 90 days prior, and then again 90 days after, with the peak period being the 30 days before and after an eclipse, you're going to see life facilitate some changes. Now, for you, we're talking about September 17th and October 2nd. So, actually, let's do this. October 17th and December 2nd. Um, the first eclipse will coincide with the beginning of Pluto retrograde at the end, like after it, back into Capricorn. We're going direct. Okay, so this is interesting. And there's Pluto. So it looks like there's some like loose ends that need to be shored up with an old job to lean. And it also looks like some loose end, like an old health thing may kind of show up. So just be aware of that. Also, I would say, um, like I said, major social activities. I see trips, travel, like all like eat like I don't know. I keep getting told like you might get invited to like a wedding or something, or you may already have some weddings that you're getting ready to go to that are in the late summer and in the fall. Um, so that will definitely serve you. The eclipse that's unfolding here, we it comes with Juno and Mercury connected to it and the creation goddess from your house of home. But the eclipse is in uh let's just see, in Aries up here in your 10th house. It looks like there's some sort of business thing that goes on. Um, some sort of business thing that goes on, and specifically like a closing out. You may change jobs if you haven't already done so. You may change jobs. Seems to be a really big theme. And I just want to take a quick peek at October 17th. What was that other date? Oh, that was October 7th. Okay, that was a full moon, not an eclipse. September 17th and October 2nd. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of got the best of both eclipses there rather than looking at them specifically. 10 to, yeah, there's some sort of lurking, lingering X person right here with that October eclipse. This eclipse seems to be some sort of communication unfolding with a person of that nature. Um, it could be an old business associate or business partner who wants to collaborate with you on a project. And then this one seems to be, yeah, more about you kind of getting into a place of like clarifying your worth and clarifying like who you want to be in the world. Doesn't seem like particularly active or to activate anything in particular in your chart. Again, certain seventh house things with this will be a full moon. It is going to be a closing eclipse, activating that natal Uranus. Uranus as governor of the seventh house of committed partnership. There's some changes that are about to unfold in the love sector for you. So just get ready for that, Seline. Um, let's just see. What does Seline need to know to be ready for the changes that are coming? What's the mindset she needs to take, Holy Spirit, for the changes that are coming in love and work in the second half of the year? What's her mindset? What's her energy? Not this deck. Fine. Talene, Yulia, it is your turn next. So Yulia, if you could go ahead, that would be great. Thank you, Holy Spirit. What is the mindset? What is the energy that Seline needs to take on. That's too many. Please clarify singular energy, singular card, and more language for me, please. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay. Five of Wands upright, 10 of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Cups reversed, bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands. I am using the Light Seer's Tarot. This is talking specifically about a need to come out of any mental conflict that you've had about the way things have worked out, specifically around being too old or certain being too late. I see this as a narrative that's been pushed on you by your friendship cohort and then family, and then also you've had some of your own beliefs about where you thought you would be by X time that you have to let go of, Celine, because continuing to be in internal turmoil and conflict about those things is causing you to stretch yourself in directions and with people that's actually a hindrance to where you're supposed to be by the time you're supposed to be there when God has prepared the person for you. Understand that many of the changes that are unfolding right now here on earth have nothing to do with or have everything to do, I should say, with the way your path has unfolded at this time. But that doesn't mean that you're out of time or out of sync with time. It just means that you are in sync with a new story unfolding here in the earth realms. And this new story has you perfectly aligned with who you're supposed to be. There is a man that's coming in. It does look like he's older, much older. Um, he's established. And he's going to want to spend some time with you once you get into this state of feeling settled in yourself around your timing and your sequencing around life, Celine. But understand that if you're going through changes now, then so is he. And there's nothing wrong with your pathway. You're actually right on time. That's the concluding message there. Thanks for your patience, Celine. Really appreciate it. And thanks for letting me read for you. I'm going to read for Yulia now. You have to let us know how that resonates. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Yulia. Another Canadian. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. For those of you that are here, if you would like to take advantage of that savings to grab a 1 hour reading, it does take $40 off the cost of it. So we can go deeper into any of the conversations that we've had today. Um, Kylie, are you able to repost that link? 19880 2:50 p.m. 10:22:80 2:50 p.m. Montreal. Okay, thank you, Yulia. Really appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, I'll place the link. There it is. Nice and easy. Let me reset the timer. List is open if you'd like to get on it. I'm going to do Yulia, then Creative Therapy Services. So Creative Therapy Services, if that's your PayPal address, I need you to go ahead and get your question ready, Creative Therapy Services. As soon as I'm done with Yulia, I'll be on to you, then Pam, then Amber, and then I'll do Kylie's question. Okay. Okay, Yulia. And anything on the career advancement front in the near future. This is for my partner who's sitting next to me using my account to get a meeting reading with you. A recruiter reached out last week with an interesting opportunity that may require relocation to a different city. Okay, since your person is with you, I'm happy to read it, but next time they need to make their own payment from their own account. So that I'm not in a position where I am spying on people for you. So here is what is coming up in terms of relocation. I do see the closure of a location. It looks like it's a long distance travel opportunity. And it looks like this won't be the last. It looks like there may be some others that do show up with that kind of like potential to relocate in mind. It looks like they're all really great opportunities. I do see new home here no matter what happens when it comes to work. It doesn't look like they stay situated in the position that they are in. I see Pluto connected to transit Jupiter connected to Pluto, ruler of the ninth from the fourth house, long distance travel and home, opportunity and resurrection. So this to me says that, yeah, there does seem to be some sort of relocation. If it's not this job, it's another one. That seems to be the name of the game going on here. Career wise, on the whole, yeah, Jupiter is also the governor of the 10th house of career, and we have Jupiter transiting the fourth house of home. And this does tend to mean that a person can have some sort of career elevation that also enhances and elevates their home life and home sector for them. Okay. Why do I feel this conglomeration of energy here? I mean, none of it is retrograde, but why are you calling it to my attention, y'all? Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for this person. It does look like they're going to have to really, really be open to some potentials. I see the Venus Sun conjunction and the Mercury as part of that process. It hits Pluto, it hits Lilith, it hits the Sun. The Sun is governor of the seventh, Pluto's governor of the ninth, partnership, long distance travel. Yeah, this is really talking about a need to probably relocate. So, I mean, all in all, it looks like a great opportunity. It looks like an opportunity for a lot of advancement, a lot of creativity. There's even some potential to work from home if this person wants to do that, but it would really be a matter of what the company needs. But I would put it on the table if you don't want to move. I would put it on the table like, hey, is there any opportunity to work from home or telecommute with this job so that I'm only, depending upon how far away it is, I'm only in office, maybe 3 days of the week or 4 days of the week. And then, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm where I have previously been living. There does seem to be some option, especially with Jupiter in the fourth, that there's double homes involved, like where you get to be in two places, partner. So that'll be cool. Let me just see what the guidance is for you in terms of navigating this. This is an angel oracle question. Let's see. Angel oracle. What's the guidance for the partner? Just need one card to come out. Angel Oracle, clear and straight guidance for this person on their work opportunities and where they're supposed to be at this time. Holy Spirit, what do they need to know about their work opportunities? It's not really clear. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. Clear guidance, clear and straightforward guidance for the partner and where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing at this time. Huh. Normally, I've gotten a message by now. Is there no tarot or do you want to talk? Let's see. Too many cards. Clear, straightforward guidance for Tilleen's partner. How about relocation and job opportunities? Interesting. Well, okay. So two cards came out, one with its own clarifier. The first one is Hierophant. Second one is Two of Wands reversed and Five of Swords reversed. And Seline, I really think these are kind of more for you rather than your partner. This is the Hierophant is talking, and especially in this deck, is really talking about understanding that there's a higher level path for this connection. And to just keep taking the steps and trusting that, love wouldn't bring you this far to leave you. Secondarily, it's talking about Two of Wands and really kind of getting overburdened about thinking about the future, and Five of Swords reversed. Both of those cards as reversed, Two of Wands reversed, Five of Swords reversed as the clarifier. This is really talking about releasing some of the mental anguish you have been in over what's about to happen in their life. Like, let it breathe, girl. It's gonna be fine. This connection isn't made or broken by what's going on in the third dimension because it's ordained by something significantly higher, Yulia. Sorry, I might have said Talim, but what I meant is Yulia. So that's what I got for you, baby cakes. Okay, creative therapy services. Um, cool. So, oh, I'm glad that was brought up during the interview. Creative therapy services. It is your turn. Like, yeah, the message there was really about understanding the unbreakableness about your connection. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Going forward for the rest of you here, I'm only reading for people who are on the stream. If your person's not here, if your person has not made payment, unless they're a minor and you are their guardian, if you're not on the stream, I'm not going to read for you. Okay, guys? Just a FYI. If you want a reading, be on the stream. Creative therapy services. You're welcome, Yulia. It's all you, and then Pam, then Amber, and then Kylie in that order. List is open if you'd like to get on it. Great time to jump on the list. I'd be happy to read for you. Mm. Mm. Creative therapy services, where are you at? Okay, let me refresh because I know sometimes YouTube can get stuck. Okay, so if creative therapy services is not here, then we're going to move on to Pam. Pam, are you here? And then if Pam's not here, then we'll move on to Amber and then Kylie. So, uh, Amber, if you want to go ahead and get ready. Cool. Thank you, Pam. Love it. Amber, go ahead and get ready. Um, put a star next to creative therapy. They may come back. Um, okay. All right. So hang on, Pam. Let me come back to you, baby. Let me go ahead and read Diane. She may have just had a bit of a lag. And for all of you here, so that that lag doesn't happen to you, if you would just refresh your stream or move the red progress bar at the bottom of your video all the way to the right so that you are current in the stream, that would be amazing. Okay, so here goes Diane. Spearfish, South Dakota. Is that considered the Midwest? I'm curious. Or maybe that is maybe considered one of the mountain states. I don't know what that region is called. I know Colorado is considered one of the mountain states, but let's see. 257. Let me just make sure I got it. Thank you, Kylie. 1:22, 68 spearfish, 2:57 a.m. Okay, amazing. All right, let me go ahead and jump on in here. Amber, hold your questions till it's your turn, baby. Okay, so let's go back to Diane. Okay, here we go. What does Diane want to know? Are there romantic partnership opportunities in my new birth year? Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see. I just want to pull a solar return chart for you. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, well, this is interesting. Yes, the answer is yes, and there is a significant level of personal change that you've been experiencing that does show that it continues as we get into the remainder of this year. Let me just see if this is also the case when we get to your birthday next year. The reason why I want to know about these personal changes is because when your puzzle piece changes to the degree that of what I'm seeing here, oh yeah, this goes into next year too. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. When your puzzle piece changes to the degree in which I'm watching it happen here, there just seems to be an extraordinary level of newness that you're becoming, Diane. You're not become it yet. It looks like it's going to be maybe 2 or 3 more years in the making. As you become this newer version of you, upgrades, bells and whistles, right? All of that. You're going to be made for a different type of person, a different type of relationship than you've ever been in before. And so there is love. I see it here. It seems to really show up in the manner of like flirtations. I don't know if you're trying to online date. It does look like there's some level of like this year in particular, like dating, flirtations, like maybe you're meeting someone and there's like a lot of writing and talking going on. Um, but there also seems to be something around potentially people you meet while you're out and about in the world being yourself. So I don't know what your passions are, but if you have some level of either work you're doing out in the world or passion that you're doing, this is talking about being open to finding love through the workforce and being open to having conversations with people um that may seem to have like strong opinions. This seems to be some level of very spirited people who have some very strong opinions this year. Um, and I think the nice thing about this for you is that, like with people with strong opinions, you always know where you stand. And that's going to give you a level of confidence when it comes to your understanding of like I can be close to you because you're not going to hide from me your truth. I can trust you with your truth. And that's a really big deal. I feel like that's something you may not have experienced before, with the way your seventh house is a lot of Gemini energy. You may have experienced in the shadow side of Gemini some people with who are just double-minded or just not clear about who they are, what they wanted, or it was like two different people in one body at times. This is talking about you coming into a place of power and perfection of your personal power to such a degree where people with stronger personalities and more singularized, integrated character, it won't intimidate you the way you may have previously. Um, had that. So I had intimidation or just turn off by that. These people seem to be people who will be very, like, much more like willing with you, to do the things that you can like do the things around telling you hard truths that may just be difficult for you to have in the past, may have been difficult for you to hear. Okay. So that's what I have on that. It's a really beautiful energy. I like to see it, but it's going to be different than anything you've ever experienced before in love, Diane. So let me close out of that chart. Kat, I said, I don't know if you're just joining the stream, but I literally just said it. I'm only reading for people who have made their own payment. So I'm going to go ahead and refund you. You feel free to make your payment, for yourself. I think you probably just joined and maybe missed that. Um, so for everyone else who's here, if you want a question, great. If somebody, quote, sitting next to you wants a question, tell them to get in their PayPal and make the payment. But if people are not here, I am not reading for them. Okay. Or if they're not making their own payment, I won't be reading for them. Okay. So let me just go over here. Transactions. Okay, great. Let's see. It is Pam's turn, and then Amber, and then Kylie. The list is open, so if you want to get on it, you can, but it has to be you getting on it for yourself. And any friends that want to get on it have to get on it for themselves. Okay, guys? Pam, then Amber, and then Kylie. I think Pam posted, so let's go ahead. I just read for Pam? No, I just read for Diane. So let us know, Diane, how that works out. Because, like I said, it looks like you get attracted to a very different kind of person than you may have ever been attracted to before. No, wait a minute. I could have swore I was just reading for somebody from Spearfish. Yes, Pam. I read for Pam. Okay. Diane, now I'm going to read for you. But first, let me pull a few cards for Spearfish, Pam. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What messages in love do you have for Pam? Eight of Swords reversed wanted to slip out. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles reversed won't be very single for long. There's definitely opportunities there. This is also talking about showing yourself as available and not like uninterested or like committed elsewhere. I wonder why this is the only card. Maybe the Santa Muerte deck wants to show us something. Yeah, at the bottom of that deck, we have the Fool. Oh, yeah, Santa Muerte wants to talk. And then the Fool comes out again. Wow. Okay. So, double Fool, Major Arcana, brand new chapter in life. You on a new journey as a new you for real. For the Fool to come out twice is pretty significant in two different decks. Oof. Okay, the final card here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, the final cards are coming out of the Santa Muerte deck, and it's the Two of Swords, which in this deck shows scissors, and it came out with its own clarifier, the King of Swords. This seems to be somebody in your past that is showing up on your path in the present or coming up in the future. This person is somebody who has probably not been very kind to you with their words. They really approached you in a more transactional way, in a very heady way, and it, either by the book kind of way or more traditional kind of way. But this is somebody who's probably not had a lot of empathy or heart connection in the way that they deal with you. Clarifying all of this is the Two of Wands reverse. This is talking about coming out of indecision around this person. The message seems to be some level of with or without them, you need to be embarking on a new pathway when it comes to love. There's new doors, new pathway opening up, and this is your time. This is your moment. But the only way you're going to really get on this new pathway is to keep it moving regardless of what they do. This is talking about releasing any level of like ambiguity, uncertainty, like hesitating and delaying to try and see what they're going to do. They don't move until you move, is what this is saying. And the faster you get on with it in your life, if they're supposed to be there, they're going to be there and they're going to show up in a very different way. Oh, yeah, we got that Santa Muerte at the bottom of the deck. She looks like the Empress. And then below her, the Emperor. She's not. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, this is talking about getting on with it in your life, girl. There's some things that you're supposed to be doing when it comes to moving forward. That if you're not doing it, unfortunately, it's going to slow you down if you're waiting for this person. But yeah, there's love. And the love is going to be probably with somebody very different than that Ace of Swords person who's, frankly, by the looks of that read, in the way. They look like they have been holding your process up a little bit. So it's time to just move and then trust that if they're meant to be in the path in the future, God's going to put them there. You don't have to work so hard, um, delaying your development. Just do your development and know that it's through that recalibration of your energy that this person's going to come around. Okay. Um, let's see. Thank you, my Diane and my Pam. We did you both. Now I'm going to do Amber, and then I'm going to do Kylie, and then I'm going to do Kat in that order. Uh, cool, cool, cool. Thank you, Kat, for your understanding. I really appreciate it. If any of you have any extended questions about the stuff we're looking at, find me over at kmoonastro.com. There is a link here for us to do a bit of a, um, refresh my YouTube page, for us to do 20% off of that 1 hour reading. With that 20% off, it moves the price from 240 to 200. That'll be available until the end of today. Uh, Pam, I did read your chart, hun. That'll be available until the end of today. Jessica B, I've got you on the list. Yes, I agree, Kylie. The caps are not necessarily necessary, Pam. We see you, and I did read your chart. Let me just scroll on back and show you. Let's see. I read for Diane. So there's Yulia. More Yulia. There's Diane. Okay. So let me make that big. Let me share screen. Here we go. Okay, Pam, you want to have a look here. You see right here where I wrote in Diane's name while I was waiting for you, but typed in all of your information. Spearfish, South Dakota, 122, 257. This is maybe about 7 to 10 minutes ago back. So just scroll back. It's your reading. I read your chart information. So just scroll on back and have a listen to that. I even pulled cards for you. And then I read for Diane. All right, so there is that. Okay, it is finally Amber's turn. Yes, Sarah, there is. I'd love to read for you. Thank you so much for asking and welcome to the stream. Happy to read for you. I'm going to read for Amber, then I'm going to read for Kylie, Kat, and Jessica in that order. Okay? Yes, that is exactly it, Pam. Okay. So Amber, let's see, is born Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And just a quick note for all of you so that there is no confusion going forward after this, just a gentle reminder, please make sure you are at the current timestamp in the stream. And the way you do that is just close out of the stream and then just come right back. Re-click it so that if there is any delay or lag in the internet connection that's preventing you from being right where the stream is when I call your name, uh, then you won't have that problem. Okay. Sometimes there can be a little lag. It happens. The internets are not perfect as much as we wish they were. Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's get into the timer. Cool, cool. And Amber's question is, I need love and purpose or whatever you see. Okay, it's going to be general, Amber. You don't have a specific place you want me to focus. And as long as general is fine for you for what you paid, then I'm happy to give you a general answer. And I can really only do one of these, love or purpose. So since love is the first thing you wrote, I'm going to do love for you because I trust that the first thing you wrote is the most important thing. So taking a look here, your seventh house of love, commitment, connection, and partnership is governed by Scorpio. This year, Scorpio moved into a brand new sign, okay, by transit. Sorry, not Scorpio, but it's governing planet Pluto. When Pluto changes signs, it takes the entire scorpionic house, and for you, that is your seventh house of love and marriage, and it gives it a completely new set of power structures, dynamics, priorities, and ways of operating. And so when it comes to love for you this year, there is a sense that love is going to start becoming more available to you through you paying attention to your career and what you're supposed to be doing in the world. It's ironic you asked about purpose because it does seem to be linked to love for you at this time. And no doubt, intuitively, you already know that, which is probably why you're asking. There's some sense that through the world of work and career and doing what you feel guided and called and meant to do on a spiritual level, right? Your spirit is aligned with what you're here to do. It is through that process that you are positioned to be magnetic to love and call the right people in for your love life. Because this year you had Uranus cross over your horizon line, which is your perspective and your vantage point on life. Even your perspective on love has changed and it's not finished changing. That change goes into next year. And so, as this vantage point and perspective is changing, the type of person you may have been attracted to is also shifting. We certainly see that Pluto making an aspect here by square to your natal Juno. So, the kind of person you would have even been able to marry or partner with would have shifted. It would have changed. It would have opened up some new level of partnership for you. Hey, Kylie, I think Amber is well behind in the stream. If you could just let her know that she can refresh and get to where her reading is, that would be fabulous. And so, with that, you're going to see here that there is some level of newness when it comes, and maybe even, I want to say, confusion, specifically around dreams about people that you're not normally ever attracted to. This year in particular, Amber's going to be a recalibration period because you're getting this sort of like shift of being drawn to certain people, feeling like, ew, but no, they're not my type in your waking life, only in your dream life or your magnetism, your internal compass to say, ooh, I need them. Um, this is time. Like there's something about them, like like your senses are on high alert when it comes to these people. And so as a result of that, Amber, for you, what's going to serve you is to just give yourself a beat. Love is coming, but it's going to be with somebody wholly different than the kind of person you would have been in relationship with in the last 14 years. It's a different kind of person altogether. And so that's going to be a good thing. It's going to open you up to a more powerful bond where you are allowed to be more of who you are and return to your true self, higher self, I want to say. It looks like there's more of your higher self coming into play in the third dimension. And because of that, the beacon that you are and what you're going to attract in terms of love is going to be different than chemically what you may have been drawn to before. So give yourself that permission to stabilize in this new energy this year and just relax about the fact that you are going to have love. It's just going to look probably very different than anything it previously looked like. Oh, so many cards, so many messages. I can't fit them all in. I can only do so many messages, Holy Spirit. So give me three cards. Clear message for her. Eight of Wands upright. Ace of Pentacles reverse. Oh, yeah. 10 of Pentacles reverse. Bottom of the deck. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. So this is really talking about for you giving yourself some freedom and permission to pay attention to kind of the symbols and the message. And like I said, some of those it's like your chakra centers I'm seeing are even recalibrating to a different type of person who you can bond and blend with and mix with spiritually. Your whole energetic field is shifting. And so, as a result of that, it does. I know this is probably frustrating to hear, but even the cards are saying it. There's not new beginning energy inside of 2024 in love. There's recalibration energy. And as we get into 2025, I do think you're going to be very surprised that some of the people you start to lean into and attract and feel attracted to they are different, but they are the kind of people that you can have a true, long-lasting, committed relationship with all of the features of that you want, whether that's marriage and kids and living together or even communal living. I'm seeing some element of that for you if that's something you want, like being inside of a family structure. Um, Even if it's chosen family, I'm seeing all of that being possible for you. You may have even thought about it, dreamed it up until this point, only to for you to have become so clear about this is what you want. And as a result, it is the it you had to change in order to be a vibrational match to what it is you wanted. And that's what this is looking like, Amber. You needed to shift to become a vibrational match to what you were calling in. And that's what's you're undergoing. It's like spiritual soul surgery. Okay. Okay. Kylie, it is your turn, Kylie. So if you want to hit me with a question, then I'm going to read Kat and then Jessica in that order. And then we will wrap. I think it's two Jessica B's. Wow. That's mad fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to read Kylie, then Kat, and then Jessica in that order. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just going to let the main YouTube channel. Yes, Sarah, if you want to book a full reading, then definitely use the discount code for it. Okay. Just repaste that there for you. All right. Okay. That code is only available today for folks who book from this live stream. If you want to save 20% on your reading, you absolutely can. Um, I'm gonna go to community, your channel. Okay, so I just set it up that I let the main YouTube channel know that if they want to come play, they can. But I like to tell my folks who are on the private list first so that I can read for them first. And if I run out of steam, you know, after two or three questions from the main YouTube channel, then that's fine too. Okay. All right. So there we go. Video link. Ugh. Let's see. Miss Kylie, have you come up with your question? I think you have. That'll take away the echo. And let's just see if the video will post. There we go. Okay. Thanks for your patience, guys. I like to share it with the main YouTube channel after I've given you guys some good stuff. Switch account. Back to K-Moon Live. Oh, Lord. Did she really, though? Damn. That is Diane's reading. But okay, we'll go back and double check it, Pam. So glad you're current in the stream now so that when I call your name, I can help you. I can service you. But let me come back into the stream. I'm going to do Kylie first and then Kat, and then we'll come back to you, Pam. Okay, lovely. Thank you for your patience. Okay. She wants to know if her place is showing up soon. That's a great question. We'll find out. Share screen. Just give me a minute, Pam, so I can take care of you, hon. Thank you so much for your patience and thank you for staying current in the stream so that there's no confusion. Amber says, thank you. Resonate, especially chakra recalibrating. 326 Waukegan. And 326 1996 215 a.m. Okay, Kylie, let's see what's going on here, baby. Let's start that timer. And this says home is Venusian governed and Juno governed. Wow. Maybe. I actually see you could. Wow. You really could get your own place, it looks like, and actually not in the too distant future. Yeah. I mean, Kylie, really, if let me see. I haven't, okay, I'm wondering if I should stay put at the current job. I haven't heard anything from employers, and I'm exhausted from interviewing. People ask me what I like to do, and I hate that question. I like to pay my rent and eat food so I have time to do things that I actually like to do, is the most honest answer that all of us can give. Yeah, I like to push papers and post on social media for your crap company. Just kidding. I would say it does look like yes, and there's some level of recalibrating. I think you know this when it comes to work. You've been going through it. We've messaged back and forth about this. I've seen your emails come through my inbox. I mentioned this earlier for a couple of other people who've gotten readings today. Pluto conjunct Capricorn, or Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius, means that the sign that Pluto governs, which is Scorpio, is going through a massive overhaul. In the house that Scorpio governs, I'm trying to articulate. And so because there's this massive overhaul in the house that Pluto governs, which for you is your career sector, There is some level of shifting, change, growth, transformation, Kylie, which you know is happening in the world of work. Because this is unfolding for you, Pluto in this location, moving into Aquarius, is going to dip back into Capricorn in the, November-ish time frame. Pluto moving back into Capricorn and then forward into Aquarius, you're going to notice there's a lot of, it's not as cray cray next year. I know this year and last year have been cray cray for you in terms of where do you fit in the world? Can you afford financially, given that the cost of living has had such a huge gap between wages in North America that there's the wage increases have not kept up with cost of living increases. So many people are getting squeezed. You have been no stranger to being on the front lines of those changes as being a young adult entering the workforce for the first time. And so, people with more seniority or more experience in their industry have maybe found ways to get to some sort of stability, whereas our mid 20 to early 30 somethings really feel like they're getting the shaft around being able to financially, quote unquote, keep up when it comes to being able to be like financially sustainable through having a job like regular means and being able to live on their own and have the independence and autonomy that their nervous system, their spiritual system is calibrated to create for the age that they are at. And so because you're in like this kind of the crosshairs of a changing world system economically and a crossroads in your life, I'm going to tell you two words that I am sure as an Aries, because I know so many Aries hate to hear. Be patient. Be patient. This is coming. But much of this has to do with you getting into a different place. Um, with Pluto settling into Aquarius, it's not going to settle this year. It's going to settle next year. That's going to facilitate significantly more stability for you on the career front and significantly more stability once it's landed there and Uranus has pulled away from your natal Venus, significantly more stability on the home front. I would say for me, this looks like greater potential to find a home as we move into the tail end of this year, beginning of next year, maybe even spring of next year. That's like your forever home, and even a career path that's less, has less like ups and downs. Where do I fit? Tumultuousness, higher ups, bosses coming and going, and rivalries and politics and all the bullshit that people do when people uh, don't like themselves or don't like their options in the world. People can really be trash to one another and to themselves when they feel trapped or stuck. And we're seeing so much of that as we're just allowing, it's a slow process. New jobs, new economies, new industries, new roles begin to emerge in the technological society we're all stepping into. And so you finding your way in a way that leaves you empowered is what you're meant to be doing, but giving this some time to the best of your ability. It may require, I'm sorry to say, as Jupiter is in the sign that governs more than one person in the part of your chart that deals with home, it may require you having a situation with roommates for a little while. I'm sorry you don't like that. Most of us don't. I mean, I had roommates off and on for a long time. I may even go back to a period of life where I have roommates. Who knows, right? I mean, I may become one of the Golden Girls. Who knows? Grace or Frankie? Who knows? But the reality here is that life is shifting in a way that's meant to be more accommodating to the true nature of your soul. And if you can give this some time, yes, you will land. No, it will not always be so chaotic. And yes, you will find where you're meant to be work-wise and home-wise, Kylie. It's coming. I can see it. Things look far significantly easier next year. But you're going to have to give this time. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Angel card for you is the teacher. And I'm going to do cat. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this correction for lovely Pam. Okay. Cat. Go ahead and get ready. I know, but it's not impossible, Kylie. Just give this some time, okay? Let the pathway open to you. The teacher is the card you got. You are both learning and teaching life, waking path knowledge, sleeping path doubt. In the waking path, the teacher creates the knowledge from her life experience. You impart to all you know. You hold the lessons in life as universal principles we can embrace. Your lessons or sermons evoke deep thought and a thirst for more knowledge. I'm sure there has been plenty of both guys and girls who tell you, Kylie, I didn't expect that from you. You're deep. You encourage discovery. You can dispel confusion and make sense out of the puzzle of life. As an awake teacher, you're a mentor, you're a parent, you're a holder of wisdom. But on the sleeping path, people discover things in your teachings that are disruptive to their life. Your teachings can hit at the core of a person's being, so your knowledge may be challenged. This challenging can bring about insecurities. Those insecurities can keep you in a place of devastation and keep you from valuing your ability. Your perception of your own intelligence can get questioned and even declined. And then the doubt can descend into your heart and cause you to go onto the sleeping path, wishing you were a better teacher, or perhaps just wishing you were not on the earth plane. For your soul revival, Kylie, this is going to require sharing your knowledge, continuing to do that, but expanding this. I'm going to read you exactly what it says. Expand your limited view of intelligence. Know that you have an innate sense of knowledge that should be bestowed on people, and to receive a challenge to what you know is to receive the possibility that we have more to learn. So let go of shame, let go of embarrassment, let go of doubt, of not knowing. And that's going to open you to higher levels in your teaching abilities. Not knowing creates new knowledge. Remember, your horizons lie far beyond most people's. Okay, Kylie? That's what I got for you, baby cakes. Thank you for being such an amazing moderator, Kat. Um, and then Pam, we're gonna come back to you, babe. So just hang tight. Kat, go ahead and put your details in the chat for me. I'm gonna do Kat, and then I'm gonna do Pam, and then we are going to come back to Jessica. Okay? Okay. So while we're waiting for Kat, I'm just gonna scroll on back and just check out this reading I did after the one I did for Pam, get a sense of how that went. And thank you for your patience, Pam. And again, for all of you, just try to stay current in the chat. I'm doing the best I can, and Kylie is too, to really be of service to you today. But it really helps us if you pop out, you go elsewhere, it'll pause your video, but that'll mean you'll be behind in the live stream. So what you want to do is you want to go back in the live stream, close out, and then come back. Okay. All right. So let me just scroll up here. Okay, so Pam wants to know what's in store for her love life now that I've closed some old doors and focusing on sovereignty. Yeah, I don't remember answering that question at all, Pam. So I'm going to circle right back to you, babe. Let me read for Kat and I'm going to come right back. Everyone, thank you for your patience. Let me pull back to the front of the stream. Make sure I'm current in the stream and I can see everyone's questions. And oh boy, my stream got stuck. Let me refresh. I am well, Kat. I hope you are well too. I hope you're having fun with your creativity and you are creating fun things for yourself. Book release. Okay, I like book releases. I don't know. Is that Kat's question about a book release? Okay, my girl was born in Taiwan in Taipei. And 5, happy belated birthday, 24, 1985, and 10:55 p.m. Okay, cool. Okay, let me set the timer for the first part. Kat says, best time for a book release. By the way, you were spot on with my last mini read. Content, energy, and timing on fire as usual. I'm so glad it was accurate. Best time for a book release. Let's see. I mean, the best time is when you release it, obviously, like when you just get there. Um, I'm loving that the South Node has removed itself from your ninth house of publishing. I think that's going to really help you. Governors of that ninth house of publishing are Venus and Juno. Uh, 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 uh. You've got a Chiron conjunction to Venus and Juno at that 20 and Juno return and Juno's just gone direct. I love this. Okay. The book is done. Okay, that was going to be my next question. Like, are you still in the writing or is it done? Okay, there's a short window here, and I would say, where is your Martian governed houses? Was there any part of this that was meant to be published sooner or a book that you were working on sooner that is just but it didn't work out earlier. You had to redo some stuff, come back to it. Like, is there any part of this that's a redo? Because if so, I'm going to say that Mars retrograde. If not, I'm going to say avoid the Mars retrograde. Okay. Mars retrograde is, I think it's December 6th through February 26th. Um, so depending upon whether this is a comeback round, Mars retrograde is perfect. If it is not a comeback round, avoid that window. And I'm just going to, no part of it is a redo. Then you want to avoid the following period of time. Mars retrograde dates, degrees, astro-seek. Okay, so here are the full set of dates you need to avoid. Okay. Um, Wait, this is 2022. I wonder if I could just put in 4 and get what I need. Yes. Okay, December 6th to February 24th of 2025. I would even go as far back. That's not what I need. To November. Anytime before November, if you can get to this before November. Otherwise, I would say wait until the end of March, beginning of April. Let me just take another look at your chart. I'm not going to remember what I just said, so please note, like, avoid the period between November and April of next year. Okay. Let me just see the 10th month. How far into the 10th month can we go? Okay. As we get into the end of the 10th month, yeah, as we get into October, that's the last I would look for publishing on this side of 2025. If this goes into 2025, I would say best time is going to be, like, especially now. If you want to do it now, I would do now. Like if you can publish it now, now is really the best time given this the Gemini stellium that we have. That's going to be best. However, if you cannot do that anytime before October, and if you cannot do that, make sure I'm in 2025. I would say I do not like the South Node sitting with natal Juno. To get past that, I would recommend yeah, the sooner the better, Cat, honestly. Because otherwise, we're out in the summer of 20, we're out a year from now. Let's see, July. Yeah, I would say anytime after July. Um, and that would actually is still a great time. I love seeing Jupiter in Cancer for you, House of Service linked to Scorpio up here, House of Visibility and Public Fame, House of Financial Income, Pisces for you. I love July of 2025 for you. It's a beautiful time if you want to take this on then. Um, but otherwise, anytime before October. So anytime now. Yep. Like we were thinking June 11th. Great. Yes, I would say that's perfect. The sooner the better, actually. So yeah, that's perfect. Any messages Cat needs? And then I'm trusting you're still here, my lovely what is her sweet name? Pam. I'm trusting you are still here. Pam, Pam, Pam. And then I'm going to do Jessica B. Okay, cool. Amazing. Messages for my lovely cat bond. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, this is talking about a few interesting things. Two of Cups reversed, Ace of Swords upright, the Emperor reversed. King of Cups reversed confirms it. The message I got was you got to stay out of your feelings around this, and you're going to have a lot of feelings. There's going to be a lot of feelings, a lot of angst, a lot of agita around what's happening and controlling the voice and the narrative and the timing and wanting it to be well received. And this is a big step, and so much anxiety about being seen and being connected to, and people seeing the truth of who you are. You're gonna have a lot of feelings, my lady. And so this is really saying, handle your feelings separately from your business. Keep your business, and your feelings. Go to therapy, do some somatic release. Let this, for whatever reason, is going to, uh, it's not that it launches you into some new kind of visibility. It's that the risk it took to launch a thing into the world at all is going to bring up feelings. And you're no stranger to launching things in the world, Kat. But this is really talking about like not letting your feelings get in the way of doing the business of publishing. Letting let business be business. and deal like whatever your feelings are telling you, they're probably from ideas that you're breaking and you're bumping up against as you break them. And so as you move through those perfect pictures, as my meditation teacher Carrie calls them, as you move through those perfect pictures and release them one by one, because you're just allowing the process, you're working with what's available in real time in the third dimension. As you are doing that, you become a different version of you that's going to allow you to come off of a level that has really blocked you from some of the visibility you've sought for your creative projects to begin with, Kat. It's going to allow you to release a lot of some of the story, like I said, perfect pictures is what it looks like. Things that they just don't serve you anymore when it comes to trying to operate at that higher level of business with your creativity. Okay. So you're going to do that. It's going to be great. Good luck with the book launch. You got this. Trust me, it's going to be awesome. The timing is great. I'm so glad you're done with the book now so that you can work with the Gemini new moon. The Gemini energies around your birthday is perfect. It is perfect. Okay. So, Miss Pam, thank you again for that patience. And then, Jessica, if you could get yourself ready, I'm going to read for you next. And then we might do a couple of collective questions if y'all want to do those, because I have a few minutes before um, anyone else joins the list. But the list is definitely open if y'all want to come play. Um, Okay, Pam, Spearfish, South Dakota. Love it. 1, 22, 68. Woo woo. I love it. 2:57 a.m. Okay, beautiful. What's in store with the twins since finding my sovereignty? And I think you mentioned what's in store in love generally. I don't know what's going to happen with that person. That is not something I can speak to. Or make predictions on, but I can tell you about love life, holistically speaking. Um, your love life, oh God, I love to see this. Anytime I see Jupiter in the seventh, which you have, it is a once in 12-year opportunity for love to come to you in some new ways. I think I did answer this question, but maybe it wasn't you who asked this. Jupiter in Gemini is really opening up the opportunity for new love to unfold for you. I did answer this question. I remember answering it specifically, but it's going to come in the arena of it looking different than it's looked for you before because Pluto is connected to your sun. And because Pluto is connected to your sun, this is causing a complete shifting of who you are as a person. Because you're shifting as a person, the type of person you're going to connect to is going to shift completely. And as you shift as a person and the people you connect with shift completely, you're going to be drawn to a different type of person than you've ever been. I specifically remember pulling an Ace of Swords card for this read in the Santa Muerte deck. And the message was specifically, Pam, that it's necessary for you to let go of the idea of who it is that you're attracted to, because you're going to be attracted to somebody that you've never been attracted to before. Specifically, it could have been somebody who just didn't know who they were, occupied a lot of the shadow side of Gemini, double-mindedness, double speak, incongruent actions and words, ways in which a person would have shown up without any level of accountability for their impact to you. When someone is showing up in that way, which is shadow side of Gemini, oh, I don't know what I want. I'm here. I'm there. I want you. I don't. when you start to get that energy from someone with Pluto sitting with your sun during this season, you are going through such a significant personal change that that shadow side of Gemini is just no longer going to be acceptable to you. Pluto conjunct your sun continues this year, next year, the following year. And as this shift happens, you come into a different relationship with love and the power dynamics that serve you as a person in order to be connected with other people. Meaning, if in order to be with someone, you have to live a disempowered version of yourself that can't ask for what you want, that can't be present, that can only be in service to them in some sort of way and available to them, you're going to find that this does not work for you any longer. You're also going to find that love is here, but it's taking some different shapes. And so, because your usual type is not indicated with this change this year, next year, the following year, the invitation is to really stay open, Pam. Gemini embodies curiosity, inquisitiveness, one step at a time, being open to the unknown and the unforeseen, allowing the plan to evolve rather than having to stick to it in only one way. Giving yourself permission for these things is going to open the door for love to come in a way it's never been around before. You're moving to a higher level of self, which, because your capacity to receive has changed and interact has changed, the nature of the type of person that can organically be connected to you will also change. Okay. So, yes, love, it's here. I would also say expect this to be a semi confusing time. You can date if you want to date. I don't see any reason not to. But I would say, Pam, for you, it's necessary to give yourself some space, some freedom, and some permission for it to be different, to look different, to approach it differently. If you've never online dated, online date. If you've never been the type of person to date, by going to events and being open to meeting people, go to events, be open to meeting people. Do the opposite of your normal. And then you're going to find that something that starts off maybe a little small opens up cards for you. Devil upright, King of Cups reversed, Knight of Cups reversed, Page of Pentacles, bottom of the deck upright. This is really speaking to a bit of releasing some of your own toxicity, Pam. Where you have, ooh, do I have to say that, y'all? Dang, this is a hard message, but here it is. This is the way it's coming through. Where you have been in self-deception around where your heart has been and what's going on with the person you refer to as twin flame. This is talking about releasing, seeing that self-deception for what it is, and giving yourself permission to just get into some truth about where you actually stand. From that place, there's some real opportunity there's some Knight of Cups type people available that really would like to honor you, nourish you, nurture you, and give you an entree back into the world of connecting romantically with others, and maybe show you a few things that you've not seen before in love because of the way maybe you've been closed. With Page of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, there just seems to be a lot of closed energy that you may not be aware that you have in the way that this is presenting. When it comes to love, you may consciously think, I'm open, I'm open, I'm open. Why didn't you throw the ball to me? God, I was open. This is really showing me that you may not be as open as you think or are professing to be. And as a result of that, the way to get open is first to just get honest with yourself around the truth of where you're at emotionally. And from that place of truthfulness, you're going to get to a place of that, because it's congruent, mind, heart in union for itself from that place, you're going to find that that union energy interiorly is strong enough, Pam, for you to be able to um, let somebody else in. And it'll be a little wonky. Heart may be over here with one person, body may be over here with somebody different, but being congruent about that with the person in front of you is what's going to let love in. Okay, Jessica B, it is your turn, baby cakes. I want to understand the meaning or why my mother died unexpectedly during what feels to be the worst time of my life. Okay, I got you, Jess. I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Okay, cool. Let me have a look at that. Glad you were current in the stream. If you want to rewatch the stream, you'll hear I also answered the question and the tarot pull was not as heavy, Pam. So, but definitely you can go back and listen to that. It'll be there because I looked at that chart and I answered that question about love in almost near the exact same terms. Um, Quebec City. Does it say Quebec City in the software or does it just say Quebec? Let's see. We only have Quebec. Okay. 619. Hey, happy upcoming birthday. I know this must be a rough one. You just celebrated the 1 year passing of your mother's. So, really, really sorry to hear this loss. And the list is open. If anybody wants to jump on it, you absolutely can. Um, okay, Jessica. So she passed 4/24/23. Let's take a look. Spiritual reasons. And thank you for your patience, Pam, while I worked through some of the list and came back around. Really appreciate that. Okay, Jessica. I do see there's a lot of activity going on here in that eighth house that does represent endings and completions. When I look for lessons around that, I'm looking for aspects of the ruler of that house to your natal north node. And we do see here Mars is directly conjunct your natal north node and the sign that governs mothers here in the 10th house. Interesting. Is there anything retrograde? Yeah. Mercury is retro back and forth over the 8th and the ninth. The ninth is faith, and it's also kind of teaching. And the 8th is endings, and it is also alchemy and transformation. Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. Taurus represents the corporeal body. And where is the transit north node here in the 8th house? This is interesting. It's a really interesting message. This is speaking to, I didn't know this, but I just learned this recently that when a mother has a baby in the womb, there is some of the genetic material from the baby that's unique to that being itself that passes from the baby to the mom. And that mom holds that as part of what shifts a woman's entire hormonal operation toward motherhood and reorients her to being a mother while that baby is incubating in that 9-month period before birth, or however many months for some people it was less. When a mother dies, though, and takes some of that passed along genetic material off of the world of form, it breaks the physical bond, this is what is being spoken to here. A breaking of a physical bond between mother and child in such a way that will free up the child's. Does Mercury have something to do with 5, 6, 7, and 8? No, just 9. Okay. Frees up some of for you, your pathway here in career and work. I'm not sure what the soul contract was, or maybe just some of you and hers resonant pictures around what you can have in the world of career and in the world of work. But this is really talking to a limitation in your space that was anchored through the DNA that came from her and her survival pictures from her timeline, because of when she incarnated and what the messages were for women and girls. Her departure and the timing of her departure happens at a prelude to a kickoff of your career sector and career life that is meant to bring you into greater visibility and harmony with your true self. Not the self that, let me put it a different way. True self, as it pertains to astrology, when we look to the 10th house, is the self that you and God agreed upon before you incarnated here on this earth, before culture, before family, before genetics, before place of origin, and all of the messages you receive about gender, race, class, and sexuality. There is a you that you and God decided you were going to be. That has nothing to do with what anybody could dictate for you. And when your mother passed, her passing like it was to release from your spiritual genetics, I guess you could say, is what I'm being shown here. Any limitations she carried in her space from her own mother. And so this was meant to be a liberation for you that sets you up to live in freedom for who it is you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be, based on who you and the divine decided before you ever got here. And so we look here, let me clear all that up. We see the opportunity bringer Jupiter jumping over here into the ninth house now, preparing to march right into the 10th and put you under a spotlight as we move into 2025. Yeah. And so here we have a beautiful stellium at the top of your chart. We've got Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and Venus. And so her passing at that time, if I could sum it up, is oh, I don't want to do that. Freaking fine. Okay, I'm gonna do it because I want to do it because I have the ability to do it and they're telling me to do it. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. This Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, Venus connection here for you is the beginning of a kickoff of a new chapter in your career sector that is based on the truth of who you are in present time, releasing a lot of your mother's information from your spiritual body and specifically your soul, your heart, your mind, and your will, so that you have the capacity to move forward in time with a lot more freedom to be who you're supposed to be in this lifetime. Okay. I'm also seeing that I saw this earlier, she has messages for you. So rather than a tarot pull, my guides invited me to just channel a message for her, from her to you. I don't really do a lot of mediumship, which is why I was like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Because I don't always like talking to people who have crossed over, but there's times when I have the capacity to hear them. Try to tune them out most of the time, but she's still very present in spirit in this timeline attached to you. So just give me a minute. I'm going to set a quick timer for that channeling. Okay, so she's coming in a lot of white and yellow. She says she's speaking to you through flowers. When you put fresh flowers in your home, she's near you. And when you saw the flowers this spring, she was showing them for you. She wanted you to understand that you and her will always be connected, unbreakable bond. Even though she's not here in spirit or in form, she is here in spirit. Her release of her physical body is, as Kay said, is to make space for you to take up more room here in the third dimension. She says she's sorry. She's sorry that she did not allow, like, give me the words again, please. I'm so sorry. I did not allow you to be who you were when I was alive. Did she cuss? Oh my gosh. So she's like, I'm going to make damn sure, maybe she's just saying that for me, that you will be all of who God made you to be before you die. Sweet. She's acknowledging y'all didn't always agree on stuff. She has a lot of regret. She thinks that she made your life harder sometimes. She's acknowledging that she pulled on your energy for her own validation. She recognizes that wasn't right. She doesn't want you to do that to your own children. Do you have kids? Um, or to other people. She says you're about to enter a season of significant promotion. You're going to be leading other people. Don't do what I did. Don't make them conform to your picture of them or your desire of them. How do you want me to phrase it? Don't make them conform to your will for them. Find the people whose personality and drives are already aligned with the outcomes you're going to be tasked with achieving. And in so doing, you'll know that the lessons between us have been learned, and it will free me to go on to my next path. Okay. Thank you. What is your name? Jessica's mother. Thank you for being here with us today. I release you. Just letting your record keeper update what needs to be updated and storing those messages for you so that when you need them, they will reappear in spirit or form as necessary. Closing down that channel, resetting the attunement to the other frequencies. Great. No, I don't want to talk to the rest of y'all. Oh my God. It's like they see me talking. They're like, oh my God, she can do it. She can hear us. No, I cannot hear the rest of y'all. Go away. Jessica, that's what I got, baby cakes. Hopefully that was constructive for you. Um, okay, let me see what's going on here. Just be, oh my God, Kay, the flowers. Thank you. I felt guilty because I asked for a divine intervention before she died and had that guilty feeling that I caused it and it wasn't planned. Thank you so much, Kay. You have no idea how what you just did means to me and my family. So much gratitude. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm really glad that those messages were constructive for you. I don't know if you have a sister. She's still talking. I did not close that down correctly. She's saying pass this along to your sister or your siblings, whatever. Okay. All right, let me just take a minute to reset my space. The list is still open. So if anyone wants to ask a second question, or if anyone would like to Join the list, you can. Like I said, I really try not to talk to the recently passed unless like I really have to. For whatever reason, I was the person to deliver that message today for Jessica. So please don't ask me to do it. I don't like doing that. I'm not open for that at this time. Oh, my guides are saying, yes, you are. Jesus Christ. What are we getting ourselves into? Okay, list is open. If you want to jump on it, you can. And there is an opportunity just until the end of today. If you would like to book a reading, you can, a 1 hour reading to kind of clarify anything that we have talked about. You can do that over here with a little savings code. There we go. Oh, there we go. Um, 20% off 1 hour reading. Use that code live20 to book a 1 hour reading. That's going to be available just until the end of today. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, Jess. Hopefully that resonated and provided some, support for you. Um, list is open. And if anyone has any questions about the collective, now is a great time to ask. I'm happy to answer some collective questions for us before we step into the next segment. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick clearing and meditation to reset my own energy after that. You may hear me be quiet, but I'm still here. And if you have your collective questions, you can throw them up in the chat and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, guys? Okay. Amazing. All right. Cool, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Anyone got any questions for the collective? Yeah, normally I do not channel. That is new for me, but apparently it was necessary in this instance. No questions for the collective? Okay. All right, guys. Well, if nobody has any questions, we may go ahead and close out here. I just double check that no one's popped on the list. Okay. Jessica was the last person. Yeah, she was the last person. Okay, guys. Thank you all for being here. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And I will see you all on the next lunar update. Thank you guys. Take great care and bye for now.